deficit of 4 runs or more. That's the most in Major League Baseball. Is that more of a testament to the talent, the intestinal fortitude, or equally both?
I think it's, there's a lot of talent in this league, so I don't want to minimize the talent because we clearly have it. It's a wonderful stat, doesn't surprise me, but it really comes down to heart, desire, really willingness to win, and this group has it. It's on display almost every night. It's on display at the end of the road trip this last 10 days. And then come back home, and it's so nice to be home. I mean, this ballpark was electric tonight. This place is special. So kudos to the Friar Faithful, and the support that we get, that clearly helps a little bit too, but no doubt. But this team's got heart champions, and they turn it up. They don't give in, and that's what competitors do, give nothing away, and regardless of circumstances. And tonight down, and yeah, it was a blow. The Grand Slam was a blow, and sometimes you punch and sometimes you get punched. But what do you do when you get, you punch back? That's what you do, and that's what this club does. And Rise with a big 2-run homer, it's tied to be able to get on, and but then boom, right back at him. Manny, Bogey, Jackson, Bryce, here we go again, Diaz. So it's a team full of guys that have a big heart, a lot of talent, and desire to win. It's a great combination.
Yeah. You just went through a nice list of all the guys that contributed tonight, really everybody. And how important is that to not only getting the contributions from throughout the lineup, but also the way that you're doing it? I mean, whatever it takes, sacrifice hits, the big hits, it seems like it's all really come together.
Yeah, we talked about Peckup park hitting, and we've been able to do it fairly consistently this year. There's been times where we haven't been able to put it together, but we've reestablished what our identity is, and that's as Toddy always like most wisdom, it's in basic statement, just do what the game calls for, and the guys are doing it, and move a runner, sack fly, middle of the field, sack bunt, safety squeeze. Yeah, there's times we're going to drive the ball to the ballpark. We like those too. So, but yeah, the guys are playing the game the right way.
You mentioned Fernando. How do you even begin to rank, his defensive games and the things that he's able to do on the field? I mean,
listen, I don't, you see the league, and there's some amazing talent in Major League Baseball. It's a good time to be in this league. There's some real amazing talent and on display every night. But he just made 2 of the best plays you're going to see, period, much less within 2 innings. Talking to Jackson when he came in, he's like, he might have had the best angle of anybody in the ballpark, definitely on the field, and said there was no chance he had to catch that ball. And but you looked at it, and he was on it. And then the play in the 6th, I mean, my gosh, and it's one of those balls that's going away from you too. It's got a little spin, it's cutting away from you, and most guys don't have the ability to outrun a baseball. But he's playing as good a defense as you're going to see, and if he doesn't win another Gold Glove and a Platinum Glove, then we might want to check the ballot box on that.
Mike, you alluded to it a little bit, but do you feel like it's kind of coming together with the offense, and like, why do you think that is? Like where you were like after the homer, boom, just kept going. That's not something you guys were doing for a while, but you're back to doing it.
Yeah, I don't think it's today though. I think it's been since before the All-Star break. That 10-day stretch when we were at home, you're starting to see some really consistent quality of at-bats. We were getting balls in the zone. We were, like I said, we were starting to do the small things a little bit better, more consistently. And so I think that's not taken place just in the last couple games. That's been on display for 15 consecutive games, and was on display for about 6 weeks at the beginning of the season, and then just got to a point where it's been a little bit more of a grind for us. And again, it likely was a lot of guys trying to do too much. The guy that's had the game-winning hits, an example of that in Diaz. He's a good player, and he's been looking and searching a little bit and trying to do too much. And today was really good about just, and I could tell by the fight, and I like the fact he was in there with 2 strikes and fouled a couple balls off there. Boom, boom, he's on the ball and just trying to make contact. And that was indicative of what we are and who we are, and you know, good for him. You know, he's worked his tail off, and it was a big moment for Elise.
I know he was able to pitch on, but how is Dylan, and could you take us through kind of what your concerns were there in that moment?
Definitely concerns. I mean, you know, heck, the ball bounced over to the dugout, and so that's scary coming off. But you know, got him in the back of the head. I'm sure we all saw, and he clearly was able to continue pitching, and he's going to go get some rifle, you know, some look at it, some CT scan, and make sure everything's okay. I just got through talking to him, and you know, he's clear-eyed, and I think it's more of a precaution. Excuse me.
That ball that Tatís robbed did look like it was going to clear the fence by like several feet. So I'm just wondering your vantage point of it, what you kind of thought was happening as it was.
I very rarely get a chance to see this guy because of where I position myself when we're on defense, and I get a beautiful view of the field. But our right fielder, who everyone likes to watch, I get Espo and Lieber, but that ball had some air under it, so I was able to show my very limited athleticism and get up the steps and have a pretty good view on it. And you know, I just watched him, and I didn't even watch the ball. I just watched him, and I was like, this dude's on this. This dude's on this. This dude's on this. And when he ran up, you know, how many times you see a guy do it, it's like, you know. It was like, I think he just called that. And but he's a special athlete. He's an amazing player.
Anything else?